day. It's really bright and sunny, so I figured it's a good day to put solar panels on. It's a lot of work. If you were planning them out, make sure you get good measurements for yours. Mine were supposed to be 66 inches by 33 inches. Turns out that they're 66 long ways, but they're 39 and a half short ways. So now I have to squeeze them into the top of the van instead of having plenty of room to squeeze it to put them on top of the van. So I've cleaned the roof. I've drawn out what I want to do for the holes to put them in. I'm using just some bolts with locking nuts and some spacers and washers. And I'm also using some VHB tape on the ribs, on the places where the weight is actually sitting on top of the rib. I'm going to use some VHB tape from 3M, which is supposed to be really good. Some people only use that, but I'm going on a little extra caution side in terms of I don't want the solar panel to fly off. So I'm putting an extra set of bolts and an extra VHB tape just to make sure they're not going anywhere. Here's the top of my roof. I'll have just enough space to fit the other panel in here between my two fans. It will line up hopefully perfectly to where the ribs don't get in the way of putting the bolts through the roof. Got to make sure you get your sunscreen on. My sister's helping me out.
Keep your beard hair out of my sunscreen. There are rules.
So next is to put this little gland in on top of the van here and seal around it, and drill 2 holes. Put 2 little grommets in there to keep the metal of the van from scratching my wires, and then put the wires through the gland and then through the holes and down into the van where they can plug into my charge controller and they're after the battery. So got to drill 2 holes in the roof here, paint them for rust to prevent rust, and then put the grommets and then seal the gland on top. So the wires will go in these holes and down below, and that will all be waterproofed, so nothing's getting in the van. Yeah, so here we go. So on top of the van, you need to bring all your tools up. The thing that you don't always remember is that sometimes you need weird tools. Like, I'm about to drill these screw holes into my roof, so of course I need a drill with the right size bit. This one's a 1/4. I'm using a 1/4 screws. Great. I need the screws just to hold it in place and to check and make sure that the hole's good. Great. One other piece that you don't realize you need: the vacuum cleaner. You got to clean it up after you drill your holes into the van roof. Little metal bits are everywhere. You don't want those to stay and rust or get into weird spots and scratch things up with the vibrations. So after you screw through the roof, you need to vacuum all those little metal bits away. So make sure you have your vacuum. The next step's really important. I use primer and sealer. You can use anti-rust, Rust-Oleum spray. I use the liquid because it's cheaper for the amount. But the next piece is to make sure you brush on a little bit of paint onto the metal to make sure it doesn't rust or corrode or anything like that. So there's a tiny little dab of paint all around the edges of where I've just cut through the metal. All right, getting close. I've put tiny strips of VHB tape, 3M, in between the ribs where I can, along these parts, and then I have to put different spacers in different spots. So the very first screw is sitting flush on the roof, so there's no spacers on that one. The second spot needs a spacer, but it needs a little more room than that, so it has 2 washers and a spacer. The third spot just has a washer. It's sitting pretty close to the roof, but needs a little gap fill. And then the last space has 2 1/4-inch spacers. I just use plastic ones stacked on top of each other for the last screw. So I'm just putting each of those in their spots and then sliding the screw through it. And then my little sister is going to hold the other side while I tighten them down. Alright, you got a washer and a nut, locking nut. It's got the little nylon piece inside of it. And that's going right up here. My sister is up above, holding the screw down.
Oh, okay. Yes, definitely.
Yeah, I know you were already doing it, I'm sure.
I know, accurate. For
Okay.
Sure.
Okay.
Good.
Hold up.
Ready?
Ready?
Alright. Now we crank.
And then she cranks it, and I hold this part still. I've got the really hard job. Although it is actually a little bit tricky.
Good job, long arm.
And it gets a little weird because you're not only holding it from spinning, you're trying to hold the angle right so it doesn't pop off the screw.
Bring it down.
Got the things, got the tool. Kassi's holding. Not lying about it this time.
I'm not lying about it. I'm holding you down. I got you.
Sweat bees keep landing on my ear.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Get out of here, sweat bees. And crank.
Okay. Here we go. Here we go around the loop.
You're not doing anything. There you go.
There we go. We're gonna get about one more. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah! Now I gotta go seal it all with my sealant. Thanks for watching. That's it for the one solar panel. It's all plugged up. It's gaining power. You can I don't know if you can hear my fans running off of it, but both of them are running off of it. Please like, subscribe, watch, tell your friends. It would all be really helpful. If you have comments or questions, please put those below or contact me. I would love to hear whatever you have to say. It's a new project and I'm still pretty fresh to it, so please ask away. Thanks for watching my video. And I hope to do more, a little more often. Maybe not every day, but more often. Thanks.